What's up, everybody? As you know, yesterday we started a new season of Warzone, Pacific and Vanguard, and as usual with a new season comes two new guns, this time being the M1916 Marksman Rifle and the Nikita NVT Assault Rifle. Today we're going to talk about the Marksman Rifle, the I think is 1916, and I'll just go and say flat out, it's not really worth leveling up. As usual with guns that aren't really worth leveling up, if you want to try something new or you're just bored, go ahead, level it up. I don't think this is a gun, like I said about the KGM40, that could eventually see a buff to make it viable. It's a marksman rifle. Its time to kill is decent, but its recoil is a little bit strong, and it runs on sniper ammo, so you only get 40 total extra ammo, plus the 20 round mag that you end up putting on this. So it doesn't hold a lot of ammo. It's almost impossible to use at range, so it's just really not a viable gun. I'll go ahead and show you the stats if you're interested in that, and I'll show you loadout if you want to try to run it. There's two ways to run it. I don't think either one's really worth it, but let's go ahead and jump over to sim.gg, and we'll go ahead and look at the stats of it. Okay, so first we have it built as a range weapon, which is going to be our orange line here. It does have no damage drop-off, which is interesting, but the time to kill, if you hit all chest shots, is 684, which is somewhat competitive, but it kicks a lot in between each shot, so this is really only a mid-range gun, and at mid-range, you're probably going to get gunned by something that can consistently fire versus you have to track and tap fire with the range build. There's also an auto barrel, but I think the auto barrel doesn't add a lot of recoil, but it's still kind of hard to use at range, and so it's not really worth it. You can see it's a 3-shot headshot in Rebirth, but in Vanguard it's a 4-shot headshot, or 3 headshots and another shot. You can see the damage up here is 95 to the head, and so 95 times 3 is 285, so that comes up short, so it does not really work in Caldera. It's really hard to hit 4 shots with this, and then you're using 10% of your reserve ammo already. The other way to build this, there is the auto build, and it's like using it as an SMG. And if you look at the green line, up until 100 meters, it kills at 450, which is competitive. But with the fire rate being kind of slow and it being harder to track, it's just not worth it. And then you're out in 20 bullets. So TTK-wise, you could probably use it in solos, but it's definitely not worth using in trios and quads, and probably not really worth using in duos. And then it does drop off, not that it matters, but it drops off, and then it's infinite again at 540 milliseconds. So maybe at range, you could try using the auto barrel. But the auto barrel, I believe, does add a decent amount of recoil. So it looks like it has any negatives other than increased fire rate. But it's just really not worth using. You're better off just using an AR. Even if the AR has a slower time to kill than 540 milliseconds, it's a really slow fire rate, like slower than an EM2. So it's harder to consistently hit shots, and you have to do that while tracking. So I don't think it's really worth with either barrel. Then you can see if you run it as the auto barrel for a close range, it has a 450 millisecond time to kill to the chest, which is very competitive. But once again, that slow fire rate makes it hard to track versus an Owen gun that still has a slower fire rate for an SMG, but a lot easier to track and a lot more bullets in between. So when you miss, it's not as much of a penalty. And once again, you run out in 20 bullets. So that being said, we can jump over to Warzone, and we'll go ahead and show you the two different loadouts. And you can go ahead and decide for yourself if you want to run them or not, but I wouldn't really recommend it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the range non-auto barrel build. You're going to choose MX silencer like always, and then we're going to go with the precision barrel for the best accuracy and recoil control, reduce the ADS spread, which for some reason they apparently have on this gun, increase bullet velocity, and reduce gun bob and sway. The other option is the custom barrel because it helps your ADS speed and your recoil control, and it helps headshot damage, but it hurts fire rate damage, not really worth it. And then you just have a hip fire barrel that's not even automatic, and a short barrel, which hurts your bullet velocity, recoil control, and then the full auto barrel. But for the range, we go with the precision barrel. Then your choice of optic, 2.5 times. The G16 2.5 times is a really good option if you like that sight. I don't really like that sight, so go with the 3 to 6. Unfortunately, it does come with a little more visual recoil, so that hurts. 1941 hand stop helps more with horizontal recoil, which isn't as important on a tap fire, but it doesn't hurt your ADS like the Carver does. You can run the Carver, though. Magazine, 6.5 millimeter Sakura. It hurts your bullet penetration, but who really cares about that? It helps your fire rate, helps your recoil control, and helps your headshot damage. So you go with the Sakura 20 round. You can go with the 40 round, but that hurts your damage for some reason, even though it's the default ammo, and the 12 is definitely not enough. Best time to kill is with the 20-round mag. I would go with lengthened. There's a case for subsonic, but you want bullet velocity for this range build. And then I actually go with the fabric grip, which we normally use on ADS, just to help aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed. We're not as worried with the polymer grip for recoil control, maybe flinch resistance, but on a tap fire, you're not as worried about recoil control. So I end up going with the fabric grip on it. Stock, you gonna go with the Fight Spurt Reinforced or the Wyvern Standard. Actually, go with the M. Any of these stocks work. The remove doesn't really work for range. ZP M502 does give you ADS speed and horizontal recoil control, but it hurts your movement speed. Whereas the Wyvern Standard helps your movement speed, so it kind of depends on how you play because that hurts your recoil control. And then the Reinforced gives you recoil control, but it hurts movement speed and ADS speed, so I end up defaulting to the 502 custom. And then either go with Vital, even though I don't think it really helps that much. Quickscope's decent, or go with Perfectionist. I'd probably go with Quickscope on this one, and then Perk 2, either on hand or fully loaded. And that's your range build. If you're doing it for up close, go with whatever your up close optic of choice is. I like the Slate Reflector, and then just switch to the Auto Barrel and the Mercury Silencer, so you're not getting an ADS penalty. And then otherwise, it's pretty much the same. But that's the M1916. If you want to try it out for yourself, go for it. Like I said, I just don't really think it's worth it. Sorry, I was checking my work computer. But I will have I appreciate any watch time at all. So if you just click through to see loadouts, watch it all the way through. I appreciate any watch time. I appreciate any interaction. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more. I will have sim.gg linked down below, as well as all my social media, so please feel free to check those out. But I will see you on Rebirth Island and Caldera. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.